Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Steve Sapato. Speed is the host of SpeakerTalks podcast. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Steve Sapato. Steve, welcome.
Thank you very much, Siddique. I appreciate you inviting me on.
Okay, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with? That inspired you to start a stopboaringspeakers.com. This is such a big insight.
Actually, that's a really long story, but I have a really short time to tell it. And I will just say that over the years, I've been a professional speaker for 40 years, and I've watched and sat through so many boring speaking events. And I always wonder, why do the people make them boring? So then I made a study of how to make it happen and read all the right books and learned all the things. And of course, wrote my own books and came up with what it takes to not be boring. I mean, a lot of people think I have boring material. They go, Steve, I have boring material. I go, no, your material is dry. You're boring. And that's my motto, is that anybody can make almost any topic interesting and wonderful so that your people want to listen. They're drawn into your conversation, but you have to learn from a pro how to make that happen. And that's what I love doing.
I love it the way you injected yourself right inside at the end. Yeah, you need to learn from the pro. I got it. Okay. So, Steve, I have a tons of questions, very direct ones, and I really want you to be very direct, clear, conscious, to the point. Okay?
Got it.
Good. What are the top 3 mistakes to avoid in speaking?
The one thing I tell people they have to avoid is you have to avoid trying to do it all on your own. You have to team up with somebody else, and you have to stay in touch with the people as you run across them, because you'll run across millions of people, but you have to be connected. That's what's going to make a difference in your business.
3 mistakes. One is you just covered one, 2 more.
Oh, well, not getting a coach. It was one. Not teaming up with some people, not forming a relationship, a bond, right? You got to have your tribe around you. So if you don't have that tribe around you and try and do it on your own, you're probably not going to make it big like you want to. And if you don't stay in touch with people, right? So relationships are king. Get into the right groups, meet with the right people, form those relationships. If you don't do that, you're going to fail.
Relationship as king, if that's why people call me king of relationship capital. So Steve, I'm sure you were not successful when you started, so I'm sure you can have some bumps in your story somewhere. And what is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
I think my greatest failure story came fairly early. I was probably speaking a few times, and actually I messed up a speaking engagement that I was supposed to be working with, and I spoke on the wrong things. So I wasn't really clear on my topic. I thought I knew it, and I didn't know my audience, and that was the failure of that. When I crossed the audience barrier, so they were talking, I didn't know them. They were people who were in the car industry, and I talked about not liking American cars and how I liked foreign cars. And of course, if you don't know that this is the people making the American cars, it was a serious mistake, and I really learned from that you have to know your audience.
Wonderful, wonderful. What are your top 3 success secrets that others can model from? Before you answer this question, I want you to give us your best ones because we are greedy. We really want to duplicate your knowledge with your permission, of course.
Of course, absolutely. Share it all. There's one thing I've learned, Siddique, is there's always enough to go around, right? And okay, my top success secrets are: you have to get a coach. I don't care who you are, what you're doing. Anybody successful, whether you're in sports, whether you're in theater, whatever you're doing, success comes with a coach, somebody who can help you along the way, ideas you can bounce off of. The second one is always stay in touch with people. So get a CRM system, something where you can stay in touch with the people who not only can help you, but you can help them. Keeping that relationship going so that you can build it. And the third one, of course, is you have to network with the right people. You have to get into the circles. I've networked with lots of people over the last few years, and 90% of them were not right. So you have to find your niche, connect with those people, stay in touch.
Wonderful. Great advice. Great advice. I appreciate that. We are ready for the lightning round. I'm ready. I know, but no idea about you yet.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. What are you grateful for today?
Oh, I'm absolutely grateful. I have a wonderful life down here in Florida, and I've always been grateful for my life. A great mom and great dad and great life, and so that's what I'm grateful for.
How young are you?
I'm 71 years young and still got plenty of time to go.
Steve, you are not 71. You are you are 18 years old with the 53 years experience.
I like that. That's great.
What you want to do when you grow up?
I want to help more people find their dreams, which in my case typically happens to be surrounding them by speaking, by being better presenters, by getting those opportunities because you've learned how to be a great presenter, whether it's in the office or whether it's to become a speaker.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
A matter of fact, I've just been working with my Dr. Phil Agrios. He's got life's one law, and it's about sabotaging yourself. And I've learned just in the last year and a half, uh, I have to quit sabotaging myself and how I have to continue to grow.
How do you start your day?
I almost always I get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I start it with about half an hour of meditation on my back lanai, and then I come right into the office. And the ideas that pop into your head during that time always help you start your day off great.
What is the advice you will give to younger yourself?
I always love that one, but if I were able to give it to my 18 or 20-year-old self, it would be buy Microsoft and buy Amazon stocks. Then I'd be rich and I wouldn't have to work.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
You know that she's absolutely phenomenal about that. But how you convince them is you have to have that belief in yourself, that says we can make this happen, and then go out and make it happen. And you do whatever it takes to make it happen, or you'll disappoint them and hurt that relationship.
What is the impactful book you have read and what did you learn from it?
Oh, yeah. The Magic of Thinking Big. It's right here. You can see I still have it open. I've probably read it about 10 times already. But The Magic of Thinking Big. And it's how you have to experience your own life. It's what you need to do to grow yourself. And it's all about self growth. Can't worry about somebody else. Got to worry about yourself.
Why being impactful is important to you?
I think all of us need to be impactful on the things that move us. If you have a real heartfelt belief in something, let's say you come to America, it's the freedom of America. If I can make that impactful so other people keep that, because in America, a lot of times we've lost that dream, the American dream, because we've been beaten down so much. So it's important to be impactful so that we can affect others and help other people grow.
Who is your mentor and what is the impact?
I've had several mentors along the way. I had a mentor in the Amway organization, and I spent 3 years in the Amway organization, and that's where I learned about motivational speaking, motivational speakers, and that's where I was introduced to people like Cavett Roberts, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, and you end up learning so much that it just blows your mind.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I love to be remembered for being a fun, inspirational person who changed people's lives. Once you have somebody come up to you after an event, and I mean years after an event, and say, hey, by the way, I saw you years ago, and what you said then changed my life, then you know you want to be remembered for helping people to make a difference in their life.
Who is your ideal client?
Ideal client is people who are looking to be more visible, who are looking to be professional speakers and make money, and also companies who want to stop boring meetings. That's one of my big things. I hate boring, so Stop Boring Meetings is my website, and that's what I want to be able to, those are my ideal clients.
How can we support you?
I always tell people there's a couple of ways. First of all, always be on the lookout for boring speakers or presenters and send me their information, right? So in your phone, go ahead and put Steve at stevesapato.com, and then when you hear a boring speaker, send me their information so I can contact them and help them not be boring.
Yeah, stopboringspeakers.com. At first, I thought it was funny. However, when I looked at the site, he said, he is the Steve, my guest is the most famous unfamous speaker of America.
That's right. The most famous, unfamous speaker in America. And so stop boring speakers. There's no reason for you ever to sit through a boring presentation or a boring meeting ever again.
Yeah, wonderful. What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
It's great. I love that you have the questions out for us, Siddique. I love that you have the energy and excitement that helps me generate more energy back. Thanks.
What would you say as a final word?
Final word is find out what you really want. Go after your dream. Find the right people who can help you get that dream. Don't share it with the people who are going to drag you down, and go after your dream.
Go after your dream. Thank you so much, Steve, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.